Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. Good morning. You have to forgive me. I'm a bit at a slower pace at putting these audios out. I've been quite busy. Entire daytime hours are being consumed. At any rate, what is the state of spiritual America? What is the state of Christian America? You know, all these words that you use, like Latino, Latinx, Black, Christian, they're starting to have absolutely no meaning at all. I think it's meant to be that way. It waters everything down where you can't see the truth. And on the flip side of that, if the water is too clear, they will stir up the bottom so that you can't see it. This is the reality of the society that we live in. So you tell me, believer, I refuse to call you Christian, and you have people amongst you that's full of nothing but hate while at the same time going to church on Sunday. You have amongst you people who make policies and rules against others, sitting up in church every Sunday. The church quite actually has become a vile place, a gathering spot for the pretenders, for the pretenders, for the pretenders. If you knew the absolute truth about both the management of the church and the churchgoers, then it would change your entire perspective. What have they brought you in the last 30 years? Prosperity preaching. Prosperity preaching. Yet they are the only ones flying their asses around in jets and living in mansions off your money. And your lives remain absolutely the same, if not worse. If not worse. So I'm really, if I was to use that word Christian, I would be speaking to the true believers, those who believe in fairness, justice, equality, and have sympathy and compassion and understanding and things of that nature, and don't let their emotional states control them. But those types of people are few and far between. Like I said, I haven't met one in 15, 16 years. All of them are filled. All of them are filled with air. Filled with air. Amazing. Daunting. Foreboding. Depressing. But at any rate, I don't call you Christian. I neither say that you have faith. I say that you believe. You have transcended faith. You now believe. No more faith. Faith is for the beginners. Faith is for the rookie. Faith is for the neophyte. Faith is for the beginner. And that's not you. That's not you. You have sense. You believe. You've watched your faith become quite alive. Quite alive. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. Okay? The rest of them walk around looking for their respective gods, which really turns out after careful analysis is nothing more than a higher rendition of the images out of their own head, largely self. Largely self. I can only imagine, faithful, how they feel now. I can only imagine. Faithful, be careful out there. Be careful, because none of their gods are going to appear. and they can't reach the big guy in the sky, they're going to take it out on you. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And in fact, it's already started. Let me give you an example slightly. How many times have you churchgoers worked your asses off and wanted Sunday off, and your manager purposely scheduled you for Sunday because he knows that you or she knows that you go to church? That's been going on since the 90s. Since the 90s, okay? Since the 90s, quite purposely and quite willfully. Since the 90s. See, you've been under attack. You are, turns out even the Crusaders, the ones who slaughtered you, but you slaughtered them back, were wrong. They have their arguments, they have their ideas, but none of them is based on doctrine. None of them is based on sound precept. Once again, they have their pocket God, one that fit perfectly inside their lives, accepts them for who they are. All I have to do is keep doing what I'm doing. My God requires nothing of me. So they give nothing. You, on the other hand, the faithful, you given a lot. You have given a lot. You've been bombarded by nothing but profanity, graphic sex, insinuated sex, every type of abomination, that two-legged abomination that the Holy Father would ever stand against, you surrounded by. You indeed have been under fire. Under fire. And if it had not been for me, pat myself on the back, then you'd still be under even worse fire. They weren't going to stop. They don't want to stop now. They want flesh. As much flesh as they can get. All kinds of flesh. Anyway, this is meant to be serious. And once again, faithful, be careful out there. Haven't you know what's weird though? Here's what's weird. That God's chosen the people, and the people who chose God have something in common. Something in common. They're under attack. Under attack. So why is it that these two groups remain separated? Let me tell you why. It's by design. Up until now, it's all falling apart. They want you to feel like there's nothing you can do about it. And you felt that way all the way up until I arrived, claiming Jesus, claiming Yeshua, claiming the Lord Almighty, representing the Lord Almighty, duly authorized and given purposeful and willful weapons to be used if I deem necessary. If I deem necessary. He's given me quite a wide latitude here. He only steps in when he believes that I'm finna like go overboard or something, like really hurt you bad. And he'll see something in it like overkill. But the way I see it, you kill people every day, hurt people every day, practice racism every day, sexism every day, all kinds of isms every day. And not only that, you won't leave it at home. You won't leave it at home. It comes with you wherever you are. Wherever you are, you refuse to check your politics and your beliefs and your ideologies at the door of your places of employment. So this is played out day by day by day on a macro level, a micro level, and on the streets, places of employment, all human interaction. Remember, the believer, these ain't churchgoers. These are not churchgoers. A good majority of them don't have a Bible in their house at all. At all. They're, they have refused to go to church. Now church has come to them. See? Your church has come to them, and they can wave their asses like a flag in the wind and express anger, hatred, and any other negative thought of or feeling that they choose. It only ages them faster. It stresses them out. For me, it's like so much water off my back because I see them as they are, and I see their true value, not just to me, but to themselves. They are driven by their emotion. They refuse to come to grips with what is morally right. They get caught up in their own beliefs, which have been proven false. I mean, at this point, after being at this a long time, at some point you have to realize that some people are just too ignorant, dumb, or too filled with hate or racism or whatever ism it may be to get past where they are to the point that that they would accept the reality. The reality is simple. There will only be one. There's no other God coming. There's no other representation of God coming except God Himself. Except God Himself. We don't care about their demigods or fallen angels or their spectacle beliefs. We don't care, okay? And we're not supposed to. Why? Because your belief, faithful, speaks. It lives, and theirs don't. Theirs neither speak nor live. They are mostly carnal in nature. Carnal meaning fleshly. Flesh, okay? And the flesh will always win over them. But you, on the other hand, you made of stronger stuff. You've made of stronger stuff. And I shake my head every day in bewilderment and wonder at how you kept the faith this long. I mean, you have to be, hell, are you crazy? You know how many times they've slain you by the thousands? Spit on you, kicked you, pushed you, used a sword against you, starved you, water used against you. You know what you sound like? And this why God picked me, because I like to use words. You know what you sound like. You sound like God chosen people, beaten, starved of food, no water, put the sword. See what you have in common? Those who have the faith and the most besieged people and man on earth. Ain't that something? See how I sing that? Well, that's why God liked me. I said all them words to make that big ass circle. Right back to where we started. Right back to where we started. But sometimes that's needed. And you would think that understand this. They want so bad to make me a drug addict. They want so bad to see me suffering and miserable and in pain. Trust me, they have prayed to every god, worked every spell, used every ritual, and conjured up every possible demon to still arrive where we are, because they don't understand something very simple. I said there will only be one. Unless there is another out there willing to vie for the throne, and it is a throne. See, we don't get you into clarity yet. I sit on a throne. Not right now. I'm wandering back and forth through the earth like the devil, looking for whom I may consume, whom I may destroy. See, me and the devil have something in common this time around. He looking and I'm looking. See, it's a whole different dynamic. It's a whole different dynamic now. But back to what I was saying though, faithful. They're they're afraid of you. They're going to attack you. They already are. They always have, and they're not gonna stop. Most especially now. Now, there there are watchers will be saying he's trying to bring the races together. He's trying to pick and choose from them. Of course I am. Of course I am. I need a little bit of everything up in here. We're gonna even have a little bit of Jew. Yeah, I know you don't believe it. I know you don't believe it, but somewhere out there in the midst of all of this, we're going to find ourselves someone Jewish who actually believes in the reality of the truth. I know it's going to shock me too. I'm going to call them to the front because I most definitely want to know how did they do it? How did you live amongst, decades of devils, knowing that they the devils, knowing the people around you is a devils, as they worship other devils openly, while they call themselves one of the three monotheistic religions. And not only that, trick so many millions of others. I'm talking about Christians. Trick Christians into supporting the devil. This is amazing, and I am impressed. I am impressed. The devil have impressed me, what, 2, 3 times now? That's impressive. But with him, is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Guess when I start to be impressed, I bump against something and I see his ineptitude, his inability to simply get the job done, and to not come to grips that I can't get the job done, to where I need a new strategy, a new tactic, or a new tool. No, he just keeps using the same tool and the same strategy and the same tactic. Now, I don't find that impressive. No animal on earth would continue to do something that clearly has not worked. No animal on earth, not even insects, would go down that path. They got sense, instinct. They're not stupid, but apparently some of us are. So somewhere between living in a capitalistic system, a capitalistic system where everything, I ain't never seen so much for sale. Everything in America is for sale, whether it's in a inanimate object, or it's walking or talking, or barking, or meowing. Shit, if there was a market for squirrel, and it is, you would find squirrels, meat, or pets. There's nothing safe from them. Absolutely nothing. You know, if they're willing to monetize their own body and come up with words like transactional, then this is where you live. This is the new age Sodom and the new age Gomorrah. Now, what trips me out about that is we faithful, we believer know what God did to the last Sodom and the last Gomorrah. Nobody escaped. He dropped hot burning rocks on them. They call them brimstone. Hot burning rocks. Hot burning rocks. So we're gonna wrap this up here because uh, it's like this. It's my last point right here. And this is for the unbeliever. I don't know how they unbelieve. No, they do believe. There's no way in hell they cannot believe. They must confess that they must believe. Let me get my words right here. They must confess that they now believe what they never would have believed, because they have no choice. They must make this confession. They must. They must. They now believe in what they were told don't exist. It was a legend. It was a myth. It was a religion. God don't do religion. God do history and God do rules. He do history and he do rules, not religion. History and rules. History, rules. Pretty much in that order. Pretty much in that order. Now, you have to remain cognizant throughout the day, today and tomorrow. I'm talking to the faithful, that I don't even like to use the word faithful, to the believer. Stop. You, you don't have a faith. You don't have a religion anymore. You have a belief. You have the truth, and they have nothing. They believe in each other. Okay? This is why, understand something. They are on a certain tangent in life. They're on a tangent in life. If you think that they're seeing themselves 10, 10 years from today, like you, they're not. 5 years from today, like you, they're not. Next month, like you, they're not. No. Life for life for them is largely an exercise and day-to-day routine. Day-to-day routine. And they'll work themselves into emotional states. Emotional states. And these emotional states drive them. They drive them. I'm glad that I'm not driven by emotional states, psychological bents. That shit is scary, but they are. They are. They will exhibit their discomfort or their anger from someone else's business, from someone else's employment where they work. They will do all of this in an exhibition of their distaste for whatever they have a distaste for. And right now, I am for sure, they have a very strong discomfort and distaste for you who believe, whose faith have been proven right. Your faith, think about this again. You have been proven right above all of the other religions in one way or the other. No, let's put this another way. Let's put this another way. You have been proven true. 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 As to your so-called religion, which never was a religion. It is a history and it is a set of rules. And in between that is trying to make you understand these rules. Outside of that, there's nothing else. And your God is very much alive. Their God, out for, I'm not saying, listen, there is dispute, but it's minor. But that's like one out of, say, if there were 20 religions, all of them false. Doctrines, precepts, all false, based on what's inside of them, what they can live with. So they cannot be the sinners while still being the sinner, not be the liar while still being the liar. In other words, they glorify in their imperfection. They wallow in their imperfection. These are the ones who will say things like God loved everybody, but we know otherwise, don't we, believer? These will have broken every commandment as a Christian and still think of themselves as being Christian. Hell, I don't even know what the word means anymore. I won't get into that. I will not be getting into it this morning. But anyway, be careful out there and know they hate you. And you too. They've been hating you openly for in this country for over 420 years. I don't reckon that they gonna stop soon. They have done, and they have put their hate into action. Their hate is actionable, actionable hate. On sight, see actionable. On sight, I see that he is black or she is black, and their whole perspective and the mechanics of their emotional state and psychological bent to change right then and there. And this is on sight. You talking about a knee-jerk reaction. They have a knee-jerk reaction. Their hate is actionable. Some of it because of their culture, race, upbringing, sexual orientation, who knows what. It doesn't really matter. Hate is hate is hate. I even know some Christians who hate the hell. And, oh man, listen, listen, I'm just moving too goddamn fast, and I only have 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left. Their hate is actionable. They can't help it. I've learned that they have to do it. They can't stop themselves. It's just them. Okay? Now, while all of that's going on, you also have the type of hate that just simmers. They can't explain it. They can't explain it, but I can. I can. Listen, that guy and you over here, be careful. Their hate have become actionable. Stranger danger. Stranger danger. Okay? You have to get like me now. Assume that if they're not you, meaning another believer, they're there to harm you. They cannot love you. They cannot possibly treat you fair. They cannot look at you as they look at themselves. They can do none of these things, just like the black guy over here. He has the same problem. You guys are like two peas in a pod. Enjoy the rest of your morning. I'm Source. I'm 7. I'm 1.